Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. This one's unique in that we are here with Mr. Ryan Hall, y'all.
Howdy.
So today I'm just going to be observing him a little bit. We're going to shadow, see what he does behind the scenes here, and so far it's pretty rad. We're going to be in this little golf cart strolling around the neighborhood, I guess. Yeah. And then he's got a big live stream going on later today. So
it's going to be action-packed.
It's going to be action-packed. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be great.
All right, let's do it.
See, when your job is to sit in front of a computer for like 12 hours a day, and there's a lot of adrenaline involved, you know, because we're talking about tornadoes and stuff. You got to stay in shape or that's going to wear on you, your cardiovascular system. So anytime there's not a tornado, I'm in here just pumping iron.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
I think we should probably see like a rep on this bench press or something. What do you think? You think?
Let's
This is the internet's weatherman. Just straight pumping iron. I think he's going to do, I think that was like 50.
Yeah.
He's like 50 reps on that.
50 reps you've ever seen.
50 reps in 10 seconds. We're going to do a little tour around the house, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so kind of like an MTV Crib style.
Big bump. Big bump. Oh. All right. This is the weather house. That's what I call it. Yeah. This is like the entrance, but we just moved in, so like things are not completely in place yet. We've got a lot of boxes to ship our y'all meters, but I think at some point this is going to be like the museum of y'all. Okay. We've got my first ever headlight that was busted out by a golf ball size hailstone here. And you know, we'll probably end up having 15 of these at some point on shelves.
No free ads here, but big Diet Coke guy.
Oh yeah, love Diet Coke. Now we're in the studio, the weather kitchen, which is basically just storage for camera stuff.
Yeah, and my stuff here.
Right.
I need my coffee.
More boxes. And then this is where the magic happens. This is where I do live streams, record videos, make the forecasts, talk to the other meteorologists and storm chasers. This is where everything happens. And then that's where I edit. That's the editing bay.
Yeah, and check this out right here. This was his 100,000 award, right, from YouTube?
Yeah.
But now, it's a little different these days.
Yeah.
On track for 1 million.
On track for 1 million. And then we just started a second channel that's probably in a couple of weeks going to get another one of those. We'll have our second 100,000 play button.
And that one is Ryan Hall Y'all Extra with an X, correct?
Yes.
All right, so go follow that channel too. Subscribe.
And then if you were to ever get a Y'all-o-meter or some Nader Beans coffee or anything.
Which is really good, by the way.
It is. It's fantastic. It's better than Diet Coke. And this is where we ship it from.
Austin's in here somewhere hiding.
Austin is
Let's count.
What you got here, Austin?
These are y'all meters. You want to measure your snow? Well, you put one of these on the ground and you can measure it.
I mean, it's as simple as that, people.
There's no better way to measure the snow. It's the most accurate ruler that you can get.
It has to be.
When it snows, everybody posts a picture, right, on Facebook. Here's how much snow we got, and it's a little wooden ruler from Dollar Store.
I mean, who wants a wooden ruler when you can have a Y'all-o-meter?
Yeah, this right here, you can, I mean, it's just better. It's overall better.
Super accurate.
Yeah. So.
And you can take a picture with it. And you can look cool on Instagram, you know?
Weatherproof, waterproof, just, I mean, leave it in the garden. You don't even have to take it outside. Just go outside when it snows, we'll see where the snow is. I mean, come on. More boxes. Oh,
I won't get that person's address up there, but how many of you shipped out today?
Today,
They are shipping out.
this is what we got so far.
And that's just the y'all meters.
That's just y'all meters, yeah.
Yeah, so he ships out Nader Beans coffee, which I mean probably have shipped 10,000 pounds.
Oh,
You know
more,
that,
yeah.
I'd say at least. Got t-shirts up there, boxes everywhere, just getting prepared.
Let's see, this is a restroom, more storage, and then this is my office. You know, if I was to ever have to fire Austin, I would bring him in here. I'd sit on the other side, and this is my great-great-great-grandfather.
No way. How did you get that?
It was a gift.
Look at this. That is hilarious.
Looks just like me.
I think you ought to buy that outfit and like recreate that.
I agree.
His office, which he's never in, because he's always reporting the weather.
Yeah, I really don't use this very much.
What do we got here? We got a little office bathroom.
Yep, a little bit of an office bathroom, a little bit of an office closet. Got an office ladder in the office closet.
Got a few items in there, clothing.
Oh, I moved the ladder. And then we've got accountant Carly upstairs. Let's see if we can bug her. Okay, so now we're upstairs in the weather house. It's a little dark up here, but we got some natural light coming through, and that is accountant Carly.
Hello.
So you do all the bookkeeping and accounting
Yes,
for.
I do the payroll and all that.
So although Ryan is a YouTuber, it is an actual business that he's running here.
Yeah, we've got how many employees, you think?
Employees and 1099 employees, probably like more than 20.
Yeah, wow.
Over 20. I'd say.
That's awesome.
25, something like that.
Yeah.
So cool.
And most of them don't work here. They're connecting to us through the internet.
Yes.
But
So if you have a good internet connection, you can build a monster business
right.
from Pikeville or from anywhere.
So about 15 of the people that work for us are in this room.
Oh gosh.
Okay. And we track them in here.
Now this is something else here. All right, you got to explain to the people what all this stuff is.
So I have a dream of one day opening like a haunted house. I tried it last year and it went really well, but I didn't have time to do it this year. So I just had to find a place to put my animatronics, and here we are. They got a whole room for themselves.
I mean, if that doesn't just creep you out, then, you know, something wrong. So here's what we need. We need a big piece of property. So Ryan can put a double wide on it. Mm-hmm. Make it super creepy for Halloween.
Yeah.
For a haunted house. The haunted double wide.
Yeah. It was awesome. I love doing it.
How many people came to it?
Like 1,500 or so.
Yeah, no big deal.
Well, I mean,
It could have been like 5,000, but it was...
It could have been. A lot of people don't know, but where we live, people are like hungry for that kind of thing because you normally have to drive really far away. If you put one in the right spot, you can get 10, 20,000 people. Today, there is an enhanced risk of severe weather in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. And the enhanced risk is driven by a possibility of seeing significant tornadoes. We do think we're going to have a tornado outbreak today around Dallas through Shreveport. And I will be live here probably for about 8 hours straight, starting in about 3 hours through 10, 11 p.m., relaying warnings and talking to our storm chasers who will be connecting with us shortly. We got 6 storm chasers out there, and then we also have 3 meteorologists who aren't necessarily in the risk area, but they will be monitoring in a similar kind of setup, the radars in the background and working with me. So this is the most capable storm chasing vehicle on Earth. It's hidden back here.
This thing. Oh my gosh.
It's very large. Here, let me get on the ground level. I'm 6'4", and this thing,
Very tall, by the way.
yeah, this thing towers over me. It's very difficult to drive,
No free ads again, but you know, it's a GMC vehicle.
but it's got all kinds of cameras on it, and weather instruments and lights. Oh, yeah, it is. I was gonna say the batteries. So usually, I'm not driving. Usually somebody else is driving, and I sit in the passenger seat. I use all the radios to talk with the team and relay reports to the National Weather Service. Usually got a laptop or an iPad there to monitor radar. And then behind us there, if you look back in that region, there's just a big computer behind that metal wall that runs our live streaming and all of our data transmission services.
So who put all this together for you?
It was a little bit...
Because this is like a pretty serious
yeah.
storm vehicle. This is not just like your run-of-the-mill truck here.
I went to a place in Prestonsburg called Solar Control Plus, who does window tinting, and they put lift kits on trucks and stuff, and I asked them if they could do this, and they said, we'll try. And we just worked on it slowly but surely. I came up with ideas, and they figured out how to make it work, and they did a great job. Everything still works today.
How about all the tech inside? Like, who helped you build out all that?
It was a combination of them and the companies that help supply some of the stuff, like Davis Instruments with the weather station. And then also a company called Cyclone Port and Radar Omega gave us a lot of the technology with instruction manuals, and all we had to do is figure out where to plug stuff up. So it worked out really well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we're going to look at the behind the scenes of how he sort of puts on the show that he does on his channel. So I'm going to turn the camera around and he's going to tell you.
Okay, so these two stream decks, these two things with buttons on them, are the most important parts. This is how I really control most of everything, including the lights in here. So if I push this button, the lights are going to turn to the standard filming setting, which is just basically blue. You notice these lights above me go off because I only want the directional light from the studio lights, but everything behind me is on, and this is what you see whenever you're watching a video or a live stream. The lights are an interactive part of the show, so if meteorologist Andy Hill or Heidi Oberlin or anybody wants to talk to me, they have the ability to change my lights as well. And if I'm just blabbering on about a storm, they don't have to interrupt me. They can kind of signal to me that they want to talk to me by changing the color of the lights to green, which they have that same button. They can do that. And then I can be like, okay, Andy, what do you got for me? And then I can pull them up and they'll be able to tell me. And the way I pull them up and change the scenes is through this one. I can, if you're looking at the radar, I can change that to Storm Chaser or to the web or to a different radar right here. All I got to do is push a button, and then what you see on the stream is different. So that's all that. This is our audio mixer. It's a Rodecaster Pro. Right now, I only have one microphone tied into it, but sometimes I'll have two. Sometimes I'll do audio from our shotgun microphone up here if I don't want this microphone in the shot. But for live streams, this one, the Shure SMB, is kind of like the gold standard, at least for my voice, to sound like a traditional broadcast. So that's what I'm using there. This is an intercom, so we've got people working here. And my actual house is not too far away from here, and a lot of times there's people that I need to talk to there, and we're all connected to each other through this intercom. And they also have changing lights that they can see that tell them whether or not I'm busy or whatever. So all the screens are ran by two separate computers. One's over there. That's the main big bad boy. It has everything in it that you could possibly imagine. Whatever the highest level graphics card is, that's what's in it, at least as of November 2022. That stuff changes fast. But that's what's running the middle four monitors, and that's my main setup. The exterior monitors are ran by this PC, and the interesting thing about it is I don't do much to it. Through remote PC control, the meteorologists and people that work for me are able to remotely come into this computer and change stuff for me. And that's what the exterior monitors are for. So yeah. The number one source of growth for my channel is bad weather events. So if there's a big storm or a bad tornado today, the channel will grow exponentially. If not, it'll grow a little bit, maybe 5,000, 6,000 subscribers, but it's really not the point. The point is not to grow necessarily, it's just to make sure that we're there, because the 700,000 that already follow us depend on us to be there. You know, like I said, if something bad was to happen and there's a lot of attention and like people needing information on something, a lot of times we're the first ones people find, because we have so many people out there sharing us and stuff.
And if you watch his channel, you'll see that his picture quality is like super clear. So now I'm gonna have Ryan talk a little bit about his camera rig, because I think it's really good. His audio is awesome. He's using the Rodecaster, which he already showed you. But now let's talk about his camera setup a little bit.
This is a Sony A7S Mark IV with a 16mm Sigma prime lens with autofocus. Basically, I keep it off most of the time, but if I plug this in here, it'll turn on, and then we should be able to see us here in just a second. Yeah, there we go. So there we are. And like he said, it is very high quality. It's one of the better cameras that you can get on the market. And I wanted something better than a webcam for these live streams, because I wanted it to feel like what people are used to whenever they're watching the weather, you know, high production quality. And it works out really well. If I ever want to show something, the autofocus is like super snappy. Oh, I gotta get my face out of it. But you see how quick that is?
That's really good.
Yeah. So it just works incredibly well, and it's one of the better cameras I've ever used.
And I just knocked over your tripod with your phone.
That's fine. That's actually where we stream to TikTok. So
all right.
So we've got.
I just knocked over his TikTok camera, which is an iPhone. Looks like.
Yeah. So we have 1.5 million followers on TikTok, and I try to live stream on there to kind of signal to those people that we're live streaming on YouTube. And basically people will pull it up and they'll get a behind the scenes look at what's going on. They'll get curious, and then they'll find us. They'll go look for us on YouTube.
This is insane on how much it actually takes to hook all this up. So I'm going to show you a little bit behind the cameras here. Look at all these cords.
The cable management freaks that are watching, or their skin's crawling, right?
Yeah. So if you're a cable management person, maybe send Ryan a DM and come and fix this problem behind here. And so tell us about what you got going over here on this huge monitor over here.
The huge monitor is what I use to edit. So I use Final Cut Pro to edit. And that's what you see here in the middle. I was editing a TikTok yesterday, a vertical video. I've got Discord up over here. This is how I talk with a lot of people on the team. I've got my file browser over here so I can pull in stuff that I've downloaded to put into the main thing. And then actually, if you pan over to the TV, this Apple computer is what controls that radar up there. So I can move it around from over here.
I mean, you got monitors everywhere.
Yeah.
How many monitors do you have in here?
In here, I don't know, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. So when we're broadcasting live, I've got those storm chasers that are out in the field helping us see the ground. I've got a live map here that shows me where they are. So we've got storm chaser Chris Hall here going southbound on Interstate 35. Look, you see his dot actually moving there as he is traveling to the south. So I know his exact location, and I can compare that to the radar and let him know if he's too close to a tornado or something like that. And then he's, what is that, 1,000 miles away or something?
Yeah.
All these guys are hundreds of miles away from us, but I can talk to them instantaneously through this app right here called Zello. And let me do that right now. Brandon, we're not live, but we're filming a vlog. I see you're going south on Interstate 35. Tell us your plans for today, Brandon. These guys, oh, here we go.
Well, we're heading down I-35 right now, making our way towards the town of Greenville, Texas. That's going to be the initial staging point. Just east of the DFW Metro. The big issue with today is going to be storms are going to initiate around the Metro. And we do not want to be caught in that traffic jam, especially if there's a risk for tornadoes in that Metroplex. To be getting caught in a traffic jam with potential for violent tornadoes is a very dangerous risk. So we're going to head a little bit east of the Metro, stage there, and see how storms develop and attack them as they come our way.
TN4, buddy, be careful out there. So I can talk with all of the storm chasers like that, and it's really beneficial for both of us because they can tell me what they see and I can tell the audience. And then they're driving and stuff, so like I can keep an eye on the radar and make sure that they're in the right spot, and it's a really good thing to be able to do. It's all on the internet. The reason it succeeds is because I consistently produce content that's valuable for the people who are looking for it. There's no trick. There are little things you can do that can aid in growth, like making good thumbnails and like making good titles, but those things don't matter if the concept under them aren't interesting to anybody. So right now, I provide really detailed weather information for people who are looking for something more than what their news can give them, which is like a 2-minute segment in an hour-long show. And there's a lot of people out there that are looking for that, so I create it, and I create it consistently. A lot of people who have a good idea for a YouTube channel will create the content for an hour or a day or a week, and if it doesn't pop off, they'll stop. The first 200 videos I made didn't get watched by anybody but my parents, probably. And then even with the weather, the first 3 or 4 months, I struggled to get 10,000 people to watch my videos, which is a lot, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't enough to do as my full-time job. So if I had stopped, it never would have blossomed into what it is now. You've got to be consistent. You have to provide something that people are looking for, and you have to love it. There are so many things that are super annoying about this job that if you don't love it, it'll drive you crazy. And it's definitely not like this carefree, laid back environment where you're just like making videos. It's high stress. You have to constantly worry about the algorithm and what you're going to do to stay relevant, and like thumbnails, CTR, average view duration, revenue, like employees, like you have to constantly think about it, but I love it. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine doing anything else. My whole self is dedicated to this, except for when I'm at home with the family, and I don't care for anything else. This is it. And you have to have that mindset before you'll like it. So the algorithm, people think that the algorithm is like a math problem that YouTube invented to tell you what you want to watch. But the actual thing, what the algorithm actually is, it's just a mirror of human psychology. Over the years, YouTube has figured out what you want to watch, and the algorithm just puts what you want to watch in front of you. So the only way you can beat the algorithm is by figuring out what people want to watch. It's human psychology. Why would you click on that thumbnail? If you're creating a video and you're like, it's only 3 minutes long, it needs to be 4 or 5 minutes, I'm just gonna add some whatever. Would you watch that whatever? Like, it has to, every single second of the video has to provide something for somebody. And if it doesn't, it's not going to jive well with the algorithm. Now, once you've mastered actually doing something interesting and valuable for people, then it's like, okay, putting captions in the first 30 seconds might help retain people. Doing quick cuts and whoosh, sounds whenever you transition might keep the retention up, but none of that matters if you don't have the basis down first.
How much does the thumbnail, like picture, and the title of the video matter? It
matters a lot. At my stage where I am now, it matters the most, because I've figured out what people want. I've figured out the content. Everybody that watches my videos, for the most part, likes it, and they want to interact with it. So now, all we have to do is figure out how to get in front of the people that are looking for it. And that has a lot to do with the thumbnail and the title, making sure that you are being direct and truthful in your title is important. A lot of people think clickbaiting, like I found $1 million in my backyard. Wow, like that would be cool, like if that was real. But if people click on that and that's not what the video's about, you're done. YouTube's not promoting that. So we have to figure out right now, our way of playing the algorithm is we're trying to figure out how to make the weather as interesting as possible in a 4 or 5 long word title and a little image on your phone without going overboard and over promising, without saying like a massive F7 tornado is going to hit this city, because everybody would click that, but it wouldn't lead to any sort of substantial viewership. Basically, if somebody watching this wants to do this, you have to find something that you are confident about. Not necessarily something that you're passionate about. We hear that a lot. Like, not everything you're passionate about, you're confident enough to talk about for an hour. And not everything you're passionate about is completely built for something like this. It doesn't have to be passion, just something that you're knowledgeable about and that you can provide value to other people for. Find something that you can, no problem, talk for 2 hours straight about, teach a course on or something, and then go on YouTube, look up that topic, see what other people are doing, and be like, this is missing, or I could do this better, or I bet if this person had made this video this way and made the thumbnail this way, it would get more views. Do that yourselves. And then if you really are providing value, it'll work. It might take time, but it will work.
And he certainly figured it out, because if you looked on the Hurricane Ian coverage and you looked at the news and politics and who was the top 10 on YouTube, Ryan here was in the top 3. It was like NBC News, Fox News, and Ryan Hall, y'all, among some other monster national sort of news stations. So pretty incredible what he's been able to do. So I'm behind all the monitors right now, and I'm going to get the famous view from Ryan's channel here and try not to mess up his tripod here.
So ever since I can remember, I've been fascinated by weather. I've just been fascinated by clouds, rain, thunderstorms. I don't know where it came from. I really believe I was born with this obsession with the atmosphere. But ever since I was like 6 years old, I've been studying meteorology. I bought books and convinced my parents to allow me to take these little courses and stuff throughout my youngster years. In college and in high school, I had mentors. I worked under Chief Meteorologist Shane Smith at WYMT. I've always been a part of the community in some way in weather and amateur radio, and I just love it. It's one of the #1 things that gives me joy, is like looking at maps and radars and being out in the storms and stuff. So I didn't realize that there were so many other people who would get value from my knowledge and understanding of what's going on in these situations. But I figured I would try it out on YouTube and see if the interest was there, and it turns out it was.
Who are some people like in this field that you sort of look up to or kind of look to for inspiration?
So Chief Meteorologist Shane Smith at WYMT is a big one, mainly because he was one of the most, like when I was young, I was like 12 years old, I would constantly like write letters and emails to local meteorologists around here. I was probably pretty annoying. But he always replied, and he was always good. I really like Chris Bailey at WKYT, Jim Cantori, Reed Timmer, the Storm Chaser, and then probably my #1 all-time inspiration is James Spann, a chief meteorologist in Alabama, who kind of was at the helm during the super outbreak of 2011, which is like the most intense tornado outbreak we've ever seen. And I was a junior in high school, and I remember watching his coverage, and he was just so amazing, and he saved an unbelievable amount of lives that day. And I remember thinking, that's what I want to do. And I actually just talked to him the other day on Weather Brains. It was pretty cool.
So Ryan's getting ready for his live stream. It's getting ready to go live just in a few minutes. He's already live with his internal member group. So they're just chatting back and forth, testing audio, testing video, making sure everything's working before they go live.
Hey guys, we're here at Y'all Weather Central. We've got everything loaded up. Moderate risk for severe weather today. Significant damaging tornadoes likely. I'm going live on YouTube right now. Ryan Hall, y'all. Go check it out. YouTube here. Welcome to another Ryan Hall, y'all, YouTube stream. We are monitoring a very serious situation where we have a tornado watch. We have a moderate risk for severe weather today, and we're already starting to see tornado warnings coming out right now. In fact, we've got a tornado warning that just came out for Atoka and Bryan County in Oklahoma. We are going to go over all of this very shortly, in depth and detailed. I'll share this stream. Let's copy the link onto Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever we can get it, so that we can get this vital information out to as many people as possible. This doesn't work without the collaboration here. The reason people watch Ryan Hall is because of y'all. Okay, so let's send a text message to a family member or friend. And let's get this out there, and let's go ahead and take a look at this tornado watch, which was just issued not too long ago. It's going to go until 8 p.m. CDT tonight. A few tornadoes are likely from Tulsa to Fort Smith, all the way down to Dallas, Waco. If you're hearing anything, what's going on out there, man? So we're going to hear from Brandon Kopic here pretty soon. Here we go.
Watch probabilities for at least for this first. I mean, it doesn't encapsulate some of the 15% moderate tornado risk area. I do think they're low, but I guess the reasoning would
old, outdated method of keeping up with that. Not saying that we should get rid of them. It's an extra tool. Looking at the storm here near Ennis, once again, it's trying its best to wrap up and produce a tornado. However, it isn't. It is not producing a tornado.
Before you leave this video, right now what you need to do is subscribe to Ryan Jones. Subscribe to this channel. After you're done with that and smashing the like button, come over to my channel, Ryan Hall, y'all, on YouTube. We're live, posting new videos all the time. You'll see us over there. TikTok, Ryan Hall, y'all. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, it's all Ryan Hall, y'all, okay? So you can keep up with us over there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get into the weather now.